Whether you're new to the show or have been around for a little bit, I just want to revisit why it's called a fresh start. Because on this podcast, we talk about healthy habits, and not just in regards to health and fitness and nutrition, but also for life, boundaries, communication, relationships, self-talk. Because I truly want you to find how to decrease stress and increase confidence, because I want you to be living your best life. If you listened to Tuesday's episode, you know that it was a heavier topic. It was on adult bullying. If you listened to it, I hope that it wasn't too triggering, but that it caused you to pause, to reflect, and whichever side you have ever been on or someone that you know is on in that situation, that it has helped you to be a better support, to try to understand the other person and how to navigate the situation in order to not question who you are or your worth, but to see it for what it is: inappropriate behavior, immature behavior, and how to move past it and leave it behind. What we are talking about today is a pairing of Tuesday's episode, but it's the other side of it. It is going to be in regards to healing, offering you some new things to think about, and just really to combat insecurity. If you're the one being bullied, insecurity is a big thing that you will probably struggle with. You question your worth. You question why people are treating you this way, how you became the target. If you are the person doing the bullying, you're probably struggling with insecurity, whether you acknowledge it or not. You have probably been hurt in your life. You have probably been treated poorly, and you are reciprocating, whether due to revenge, whether due to walls that you have put up, whether because this is simply all you know for how to treat people in order to maintain control and feel like you are not going to be susceptible to that ever again. So no matter which side you're on, today we're going to dive into some reflection questions and some journal prompts in order to help continue to heal through this process so that we can be the best versions of ourselves, increase our confidence, and move past our past, leaving it behind. There's a great quote that I love. I actually have it framed right here in my office, and it says, "Don't stumble over something behind you." I want this hurt, this pain, this behavior to be in the past and for us to only be moving forward. So let's dive in. Are you too busy to prep healthy meals? Do you feel self-conscious about your body and your clothes not fitting right, but you don't have time to work out? Does your life feel unorganized and messy? Do you wish you had routines and habits that made health simple, even with your busy schedule? I know, I've been there. Hi, I'm Shannon Marquita, and no one ever really taught me how to eat healthy. I didn't know anything about nutrition, so I found myself eating whatever was easy, which definitely impacted my energy, weight, and focus. That's why I created this podcast, to show you that through healthy habits and time management, you can know you're doing health right. So stop scrolling social, clicking the ads, and buying all the things. Let's grab our Americano and pop in our AirPods. It's time to solve the real problem together. Welcome home. A fresh start awaits. Whether you're a Taylor Swift fan or not, she has this song that is titled "Mean" that goes so well with the theme for this week of adult bullying and why it's not okay and how you can heal and come out on the other side. It has these lyrics in the song, and if you've never heard of it, I hope that you go and listen to the song because it's very encouraging. No matter your age, no matter your success, no matter any walk of life, everyone is susceptible to adult bullying, and it's not okay. And she wrote the song after she encountered a very pivotal moment in her life and her career that she really had to grow through. And there's this lyric in the song that goes like this, and it says, "Why you gotta be so mean? You, with your switching sides and your walk-by lies and your humiliation, you are pointing out my flaws again as if I don't already see them. I'll walk with my head down trying to block you out because I'll never impress you. I just want to feel okay again. I bet you got pushed around. Somebody made you cold, but the cycle ends right now because you can't lead me down that road, and you don't know what you don't know. Someday I'll be big enough so you can't hit me, and all you're ever going to be is mean. Why you got to be so mean? And I just think that's so powerful because no, people who are bullies don't always have to remain that way. It is a choice, but the choice isn't an easy one. We have to do the hard work to heal. So that's why part of what I want to emphasize this week as we talk about this hard topic is that people who are bullies, they struggle with their own insecurities and their own demons, and they have not yet done the hard work to address them, to dig up those roots, and to heal through them. And that is not what I want for you. So if you have been the one who has been bullied, I am so sorry. And I pray that you have somebody that you have talked with and trusted that you can lean on and open up with. And if you don't, we need to find you somebody. I'm available for coaching one-on-one so that we can dive in and work on your self-talk and your confidence and to navigate this. Having a counselor is also extremely valuable. I think everybody should be going to counseling no matter your walk and stage of life and your level of health, because counselors learning your baseline of you in a really healthy state helps them to have you navigate other situations well to get back to that point. If we only go to counselors when it's hard or when we're going through something and then never seen them again, they only know us in those really hard times and they don't know us at our best. So I think for your whole walk of life, I hope that you find a coach and a mentor and a counselor, as well as everyday friends that you can dive into the messy with, the trenches with, the things that it's just, I need to call and you just need to talk this out. Or I need to shoot you a text because this just happened and I just need somebody to listen or to help me process it or vent to. And if you don't have those people in your life, I know that I've done podcast episodes on this in the past. I hope that you are working on building healthy, true, sincere friendships and relationships that go beyond surface level. So if you've ever felt not good enough, not liked, not safe to be you, this episode, if you haven't already realized, is 100% for you. And feel free, please, always to send it to somebody that you know may be struggling with insecurity or with being mistreated. Insecurity often comes from unspoken pain, comparison, rejection, and or trauma. We have all dealt with hard things. There is no exception. Some people may have just already dealt with processing it. Some people have maybe had healthy modeling in how to process it along the way, so they're not only dealing with it in their adult life. But the reality is we all have insecurities that we are growing through and working to build our confidence. And when these pieces aren't addressed and they're ignored, they tend to be morphed into self-doubt. They tend to take on the form of armor. And that's what you see when people are bullies, is that they have used this trauma and rejection and comparison and pain and their insecurities, instead of to work through it and to heal from it and to use it as an opportunity to connect with people on a genuine level, they armor up to defend themselves and what they think is protecting themselves, when really it's hurting both them and others with how they are always keeping a distance and mistreating people. As I'm going to continue to keep emphasizing, there are two sides to this situation. There's the person that is doing the bullying, and there's the person who is being affected by the bully. When we've been made the one to feel small, and for those who have made others feel small as a form of their own protection or control, I want you to remember neither is exempt, neither is superior. Both need grace and both can be healed. Both sides require patience. Both sides have experienced hurt and rejection, and their self-talk has struggled, insecurity has crept in. Both sides have hope. So whichever side you are on or have ever been on, you can be healed, but you have to be willing to do the work. The choice is yours, which is so encouraging and so empowering. And although it might feel kind of scary because it will require vulnerability on your end, I want you to choose the option that gives you the brightest future, the best connections, the deepest, most quality relationships. I'm going to give you some journal prompts that I want you to really reflect on that are going to help you heal and process as you're navigating this. Again, for anyone you know that may find value from these, please feel free to send them this episode as well as share these journal prompts. The first one says, when did I first start feeling like I wasn't good enough? The value from this question is it might go back further than you realize. Or you might start to think of multiple instances, and then you find out, are there common denominators of people, of situations? So go ahead and jot down some notes, think about it. Even if you're just thinking about it now while you're driving or on a walk, take time later to really process this and write it out. It's so therapeutic to write because it's another form for our brain to be processing and healing by releasing. What parts of me have I hidden to feel accepted? This is really powerful because I know I've done this and it's actually extremely common. So please don't feel like you're an exception. None of this is meant to cause shame, but we tend to want to feel accepted because by feeling accepted, it means we're quote unquote normal. We're not different. We're not standing out. We're not drawing attention to ourselves. And sometimes that feels safer. If you've ever seen the movie She's the Man with Amanda Bynes, there's this quote in there that I just love. And I think it's originally from Dolly Parton, but it says, "Stop trying to blend in when you are born to stand out." The sooner that you realize it's your differences, it's your uniqueness that makes you especially amazing, I want you to embrace that. People will try to cause you to shrink and to hide those pieces because it threatens them. It scares them. And so if they can cause you to feel less than and belittled and to stay in the shadows, it helps them to feel bigger and better and greater. But really, no, that's not how it works. We can all encourage one another. We can all win. We can all succeed. It's not you or me. It's not him or her. We are not competing for success. We can all succeed. There's enough to go around. Stop trying to make other people trip up or feel less than in order to help you succeed. Because really you're not succeeding and people are watching and realizing that you're not trustworthy. And that's a whole nother topic in and of itself. The next one is, who do I feel safe being fully myself with and why? This question is really important because it causes you to reflect on your relationships. Oftentimes, people tend to not have deep quality relationships, but just superficial ones because it helps to then feel safe. If I don't dive in, then people don't really know me. Then they can't judge me. And that actually keeps people from connecting with you. And the more that you connect, you realize, wow, we're more similar than I realized. Oh, I'm not the only one who struggles with this. Oh, wow, you actually accept me for me. I don't even accept myself for who I am because I thought that I was so broken and I had such messy pieces. We need to work on trusting people. I know I struggled with this for a while because I thought judgment was all people gave. And that is not a healthy mindset. That is not a healthy thought. And that is so false. And I am still struggling with that piece of forgiveness of putting that on others because people have always trusted me. And I just struggled with reciprocating because I had pieces of my past that I needed to heal in order to let people in. And that's a big reality. You not letting people in, it says something about you, what you have encountered and endured and experienced. And I'm sorry for what those pieces entail, but that is not the norm. Everybody is not that way. Those were standalone, isolated situations. And that is why healing and processing is so important because we do need to learn to trust other people. We are not meant to navigate or go through this life alone. So the sooner that we can heal and process and let people in, our life becomes bigger and better and fuller. And that is what I want for you. I don't want you to be living your life alone and feeling isolated and that you can't trust people. The next one is, have I ever hurt someone because I was hurting? Remember in Tuesday's episode, we talked a lot about hurt people. It's just the reality. It's very normal because we're projecting. We're becoming defensive. And so this is a question of reflecting, what hurt have I caused to others? I know you've hurt people. I have hurt people. Everyone has hurt someone intentionally or unintentionally. And so the question is, who, when, why? Is there anyone I need to reconcile with? Do I need to forgive myself? this is part of the healing journey as well, because although we might try to compartmentalize or brush it under the rug, these are pieces that affect how we move forward. So it's really important to sit with this and to process it, and also to determine, do I need to take action as part of the healing journey? The last question I want to give you for today is, what can I do today to reconnect with my worth? As we are navigating this healing process, as we are working to improve our confidence and remember who we are, and that just because someone is mistreating us, it doesn't affect our worth, how do we need to work on our self-talk? What can I do today to encourage myself, to remind myself of all that I'm capable of and my power and what I am meant to do? Being intentional with these choices reminds our brain of who we are, what we want out of life, and that we are fully capable. As you're working through these journal prompts and processing these pieces, I want to offer you some encouragement. And I want you to use this encouragement as also affirmations that you repeat back to yourself regularly, because you are your loudest voice. You are your biggest critic, and I want you to be offering positive encouragement and reinforcement to yourself in your life. So remind yourself, you are not who they said you were. You are safe to be yourself. You are not too much. You are enough. You are you, and that's completely amazing, and you are worthy. Healing is hard. Trust me, healing is very hard, but so is carrying the pain. You need to choose the hard that leads to peace and leads to a better, brighter future for you and those in your circle of influence, because you are setting an example of how to treat people, and that includes yourself. So whether you've been the one bullied or the one who coped by controlling and becoming defensive, I want to invite you to a journey of healing. You don't have to carry the weight of insecurity anymore. Healing is completely within your power and your reach, and it offers so much opportunity, and the doors that it opens for you are endless. I want you to live a full life that you are happy about, that isn't full of shame or regret or hiding. It's time for you to walk in the truth of who you are, and knowing without a shadow of a doubt that you are fully capable and worthy of all this life has to offer. I'm not sure if you have ever seen the movie Central Intelligence with Kevin Hart and The Rock, but it's a great movie, and it really encompasses all we've been talking about this week. Because in the movie, The Rock in high school is a scrawny kid that just isn't one that would normally fit in. And Kevin Hart was the school jock. He was the number one guy. Everybody thought he just was the greatest. And The Rock was bullied. And there's another character in the movie who, as adults, when the three of them get back together to talk about a situation that they are looking for help on, the third character is still really mean and very tricky and still a bully to The Rock. And Kevin Hart, not realizing what The Rock endured in high school, really begins to stand up. And although Kevin Hart obviously is smaller than The Rock, begins to realize, I need to use my power and influence for good. I maybe wasn't doing the bullying in high school to The Rock, but I didn't prevent it. And it was such a big moment of realization where you saw The Rock and Kevin Hart team up, because The Rock always idolized and admired Kevin Hart. And Kevin Hart was really just in his own circle, not causing trouble, but not also preventing it. And so when Kevin Hart realized, I really need to rise up and help how I can, it was such a strong moment in the movie. And the movie isn't even about this, but it was such a piece of the plot that if you ever get to watch the movie, I hope that that stands out to you and you can appreciate it for what it's worth, seeing the shift of how some people may choose to never change, but that's their choice. Your choice is to heal and to make the choice to change and help others in life. I don't know if you've ever heard of Brene Brown, but I mention her throughout my podcast quite a few times because I just think she's such a great teacher in different pieces of life. And she has this quote that I have loved since I first heard it. and it really popped in my head with our topics this week. And so I wanted to share it with you because it's really powerful in the sense of it's easy to be a bully to people that you may not know. You create this whole story in your head of how they are and who they are and why you obviously don't like them. And her quote says, "It's amazing what happens when you get to know someone, because the truth is people are hard to hate up close." I just love that. People are hard to hate up close. Get to know someone. Don't make up a whole story and dialogue that's never actually happened based on your disdain or discomfort or insecurities. And this goes for whichever side of the situation in bullying that you are on. Forgive people, offer them grace, be patient, and create distance and healthy boundaries where necessary. But remember that people are hard to hate up close. You get to know the bully and you learn their story and you realize, wow, you've gone through some really hard things. I'm so sorry that you went through that. I wish that you didn't treat me this way, but I have a little bit better understanding of what you yourself are processing and dealing with, and that's a lot on your own. And so that's why getting support and having someone to help process and talk things through with is very, very important and empowering. Going back to the beginning of this episode as we wrap up, whether you're a Taylor Swift fan or not, she has another song that's called Lover. And I find it so interesting because there are people who are bullies and they don't realize that they are this way. And I find it really interesting. I know people who maybe one minute might wear a sweatshirt or a t-shirt that says lover, and they're making friendship bracelets, and they could even be singing along to all the songs, including the one titled Mean. But then they turn around and they behave that exact way to other people, belittling them, pointing out all the flaws, telling them out of nowhere what they think of them, and it's not positive, and how they are just so heavy with judgment and disgust and disdain. And I want to encourage you to not judge people from the outside, to try to look at people as hurt people who need healing. It hurts to be hurt. It's not fair. It's not right. You're not worthy of it. You don't deserve it. But the more that we can realize everyone is fighting their own battles that we know nothing about. Everyone is walking a hard journey. Everyone needs healing and is in a different place on their own personal journey. It helps you to be slower to judge. It helps you to hopefully work on offering grace more quickly. It doesn't mean that you need to stay and tolerate it. It doesn't mean that those friendships or the people in your life are deserving of you tolerating it and taking it so willingly. You have to protect your peace as well, and you have to practice healthy habits because your mental and physical state are worthy. But all I'm saying is that we need to slow down with the hate and the judgment, and we need to offer grace and patience and protect our peace. I hope you're having a good week. I hope that you found value from these episodes, and I look forward to talking with you soon. If this podcast helped, challenged, or inspired you in some way, I would love it if you'd do me a huge favor and leave me a review over on Apple Podcasts. It helps me to hear from you and know how this is best serving you. And go ahead and screenshot this and share it in your stories. Tag me at Shannon Marquita. That's ShannonMarqueta. And send it over to a friend in a text who is ready for healthy changes in her life too. Let her know that this episode might serve her as well. I am just so grateful for you and would love to hear from you. Come hang out and let's connect over in my Facebook group, bit.ly.com/afreshstart, or send me a message. I look forward to seeing you back here in a few days.